Chapter Summaries. Introduction, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Chapter 1, The Rich Don't Work for Money. Chapter 2, Why Teach Financial Literacy. Chapter 3, Mind Your Own Business. Chapter 4, The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. Chapter 5, The Rich Invent Money. Chapter 6, Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money. Introduction. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, had two main influential fathers in his life. Poor Dad was Kiyosaki's biological father, a man who was highly intelligent and very well educated. Poor Dad believed in studying hard and getting good grades, then finding a well-paying job. Yet, despite these seemingly positive attributes, Poor Dad didn't do well financially. Rich Dad was the father of Kiyosaki's best friend. He had a similar work ethic to Kiyosaki's real dad, but with a twist. Rich Dad believed in financial education, learning how money works, and understanding how to make money work for you. Although he was an 8th grade dropout, Rich Dad eventually became a millionaire by putting the power of money to work for him. The book is written from Kiyosaki's perspective of how Rich Dad went about making money, and the mistakes that Poor Dad made. The first 6 chapters of Rich Dad Poor Dad make up about 2/3 of the book and discuss the 6 lessons that Kiyosaki learned from his rich dad. Chapter 1, The Rich Don't Work for Money. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book written by Robert Kiyosaki that aims to teach readers how to achieve financial independence, build wealth through the perspective of his two fathers, his biological father, who he calls Poor Dad, and his best friend's father, who he calls Rich Dad. In Chapter 1, The Rich Don't Work for Money, Kiyosaki introduces the two dads and their differing views on money, wealth, and success. Kiyosaki explains that he grew up with 2 significant influences on his life, his biological father, and his best friend's father, both of whom had very different views on money and wealth. Poor Dad was a highly educated man with a PhD who worked as a government employee. Despite his impressive educational and professional credentials, Poor Dad struggled financially and lived paycheck to paycheck. In contrast, Rich Dad did not have a formal education but was a successful entrepreneur and investor who owned several businesses. Through his experiences with both dads, Kiyosaki learned that traditional education and working for money were not the only paths to financial success. Poor Dad believed that getting good grades, getting a secure job, and climbing the corporate ladder were the keys to financial success. In contrast, Rich Dad believed that financial education and learning how to make money work for oneself were essential to achieving financial independence. Rich Dad taught Kiyosaki that the rich do not work for money, but instead, they make money work for them. Kiyosaki explains that people who work for money often find themselves struggling financially because they trade their time and energy for money, which limits their earning potential. In contrast, people who learn how to make money work for them by investing in assets that generate passive income can achieve financial independence and build wealth. Kiyosaki stresses the importance of taking calculated risks and investing in assets that generate passive income. He explains that most people are afraid to take risks because they fear failure. However, taking calculated risks is essential to achieving financial success because it opens up opportunities for earning more money. Additionally, Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of financial literacy, which is the ability to understand and manage one's finances effectively. Rich Dad believed that financial education was essential to becoming financially independent. He encouraged Kiyosaki to read books on investing, attend seminars, and surround himself with financially successful people. Kiyosaki also emphasizes the importance of mindset when it comes to building wealth. He explains that our thoughts and beliefs about money and wealth can have a significant impact on our financial success. Poor Dad had a scarcity mindset, which meant that he believed that money was scarce and difficult to come by, while Rich Dad had an abundance mindset, and believed that there were always opportunities to make money. Kiyosaki ends the chapter by encouraging readers to shift their mindset from working for money to making money work for them. He also emphasizes the importance of financial education, taking calculated risks, developing an abundance mindset to achieve financial independence and build wealth. In conclusion, the first chapter of Rich Dad Poor Dad sets the foundation for the book by introducing the two dads and their differing views on money and wealth. Through his experiences with both dads, Kiyosaki learned that traditional education and working for money were not the only paths to financial success. Instead, he learned that financial education, taking calculated risks, investing in assets that generate passive income, developing an abundance mindset were essential to achieving financial independence and building wealth.